Testing, testing.
You're gonna have to be louder.
Testing.
Ooh. Good?
Good. Allow me.
Testing, testing.
Testing. Good.
Do two again. This one. Yeah.
Testing.
Get closer.
Testing.
You guys have to be louder. Maybe a train wreck. Probably. I mean, also this one is it too small? Oh, that would be so annoying. Maybe if you need a screw, get a flip kit and not a cleaner kit. You'll probably be frustrated. This one screw, it's never any of the other ones. It's this one screw that whenever it comes to I can't play a G. Whenever I can't play G's, it's probably all of my moves like work on C sharp. It was raining and that was like sharp was like my middle C sharp. The one that sounds worse for me is E natural. Like, I cannot get out of A natural. But when my flute's not working, it's a G. It's okay. I'm deaf in this ear stuff. Oh yeah, that's why I like it. Yes, still okay. Yo, we'll just turn to you. What? Really? A little bit, yeah. Frozen? Yeah, that was just a practice. Oh. Okay, this stand is going to. That would explain it. I want to. That was a good one. I was thinking it as a joke. You'll all better than I do. True. How do people get this like scientific answer? It's the exact same thing, but you're then turf is going to get into it. Okay, shit like that, show by time. And then they get all stuffed every time.
Good evening. Graduates, why don't you have a seat? You've earned it. Now let's make sure there is a seat for each of you, right? I promise you don't have to sit on anyone's lap. There are enough chairs. Excellent. That was your first test, and you passed in less than 1 minute. You're allowed to graduate. Good evening once again. I'm Laura Myra. I'm the superintendent of the Arrowhead Union High School District, and it's my honor to welcome you here to Arrowhead's graduation ceremony. My introductory comments this evening also come to you on behalf of our school board. We have 4 of our 9 school board members designated to hand out diplomas this year. On stage, our school board president, Mrs. Kim Schubert, Mrs. Amy Hemmer, Mr. Chris Ferris, and Mr. Daryl Beneker. At this time, I would like to ask the choir members from the senior class to quietly step forward to the stage as I share my opening remarks. Graduates, the diploma you will receive is a symbol of your current success and also a symbol of your readiness for the future, your future, whatever you make it. While this is your special day, class of 2022, others have supported you along the way and deserve your gratitude. Your parents, who are your first and very best teachers, other family members, friends, and your teachers up through the years of school. Many of these people are here today. So graduates, would you please stand up, turn around, face all of those special people, and give them a round of applause to thank them. Thank you. Now graduates, please stay standing. Turn back toward the stage and face the American flag. Audience members, I invite you to stand if you are able and join us for the national anthem.
Say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say,
Nice job, members of the choir. Let's give the choir another round of applause, as well as our band who entertained earlier today. This is the point in the ceremony where I typically introduce Arrowhead's principal. Unique to this school year, we actually have 2 head principals. You'll hear from Adam Kurth a bit later, and now I would like to introduce Arrowhead's retiring principal, Mr. Greg Wieczorek. This past school year, Mr. Wieczorek traveled across the entire country, serving as the elected president of the National Association of Secondary School Principals. He is here tonight to close out his 29-year career as principal here at Arrowhead High School. A sincere thank you, Mr. Wieczorek, for all of your service and your work for kids, for Arrowhead, and for our entire community for nearly 3 decades.
Thank you. I apologize for the rain. I put an order in for good weather, but it didn't take. But I'm sure all of you have sat through many soccer games in the rain like this, so you can handle it for an hour or so. Good evening, everyone, or actually good afternoon. My name is Greg Wieczorek, and I am, as you've just heard, the president of the National Association of Secondary School Principals and the adjunct principal here at Arrowhead High School. It is my pleasure to be addressing the graduating class of 2002. Before I get started, I want to thank all of you for giving me the opportunity to work with Arrowhead students for the last 29 years. It's been an awesome experience and one of the highlights of my life. I also want to thank Tammy Brassfield and the parents who put on the senior party last night. It was an awesome night for all the graduates. They had a great time. Let's give them a big round of applause. And now, my final reflection. As many of you know, I'm a bit of a movie buff, and what you might not know is I'm also a big Harry Potter fan. As a matter of fact, I watched Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone just this past Thursday. I've probably seen the movie a half dozen times or so, and still enjoy it like it was the first time I saw it. I'm moved by the 3 main characters, Harry, Hermione, and Ron. They are smart problem solvers who are courageous, tenacious, gritty kids who work through adversity after adversity to attain a goal. They quickly realize that to attain their ultimate goal, they need to collaborate with each other. Throughout the movie, they work together to take out a mountain troll, Fluffy, the 3-headed dog, and use their individual talents to thwart the Devil's Snare Plant, Flying Keys Curse, and win a game of wizard's chess. They did all of this to allow Harry to take out Professor Quirrell and Lord Voldemort. Without the perseverance, teamwork, and grit, they would never have succeeded. The Arrowhead Class 2022 reminds me of these 3 characters and their courage, tenacity, and grit. I think it can be argued that the class of 2022 suffered more than any other class through COVID. They lost the end of their sophomore year, having to do school from home while being separated from their friends and classmates for months, during what many experts consider to be a critical time for socialization for adolescents. They endured their junior year wearing masks, being restricted from activities, and being sent home as close contacts many times. During their senior year, they had to catch up in areas of deficit due to less than optimal learning situation they had during the previous 2 years. And they did it with flying colors, whether it was in the classroom, as members of a sports team, or as participants in a club or activity. The Arrowhead Class of 2022 used the tenacity and grit developed during a pandemic to help them succeed at a high level. My challenge to the class of 2022 is to remember the lessons they learned during COVID and use the skills you developed to make it through those difficult times to help you persevere and succeed in whatever your future brings. I feel connected to every graduate class, but this one is especially close to me. Having a child in this class has allowed me to get to know many of you and your parents on a personal level. Because of this, I know we will all be proud of your accomplishments throughout the upcoming years. The class will be remembered for a long time. Congratulations and good luck to the class of Arrowhead, to the Arrowhead class of 2022. I know there are great things on the horizon for you. Thank you.
Good evening. My name is Adam Kurth, and I am fortunate and proud to be the principal of Arrowhead High School. I follow large footprints, both figuratively and literally, and I stand on tall shoulders as the principal at Arrowhead High School. This is a tremendous school, and all of the success here is due to the united efforts of the people here and of our school community. We'd like to thank some of those individually, so I'm going to recognize some groups. If you're a part of those groups, please stand and be recognized. Let's start with our grandparents who made the trek today. Any of our grandparents who made the trek, stand and be recognized and appreciated for your efforts. The next group I have found as a pride point and trademark of Arrowhead High School. Any alumni in the audience, please stand and be recognized. Any members of our military and first responders, active, retired, or future, please stand and receive our sincerest appreciation. Any K-12 staff who has supported these students to this point throughout their educational careers, please stand and be recognized. And finally, we want to highlight our parents. Our parents in the audience, please stand and receive our thank you for your efforts. All of these groups and many others make up what we call our school community, which has supported these students to this day. Now, I have the privilege of celebrating some of their accomplishments as a senior class. Every year I send out an email to our staff and I ask them to add to a document the accomplishments and achievements of our senior class. This is not an entire list. We would be here way too long for that to be appropriate today. But I am going to share some of the highlights. I'm going to read fast, and I've always preferred an interactive audience. Hoot and holler as you feel appropriate. Already? I like the effort over there. This class had 12 National Merit semifinalists, one of the highest ratios in the state. Multiple students were recognized by the Wisconsin Jerry Awards for their amazing performances on stage. These seniors performed with the wind ensemble at Carnegie Hall. 8 seniors will receive their Wisconsin Certificate of Global Competence. This class had 476 of the 522 seniors who miraculously all came down to the same sickness on May 16th. This class had a team of first doubles who just today won the state title. And as of 4:30 today, this class has a men's track team that's about to win state. This class had seniors who earned literally dozens of writing awards and were published in books and magazines across the country. One senior qualified to compete at the National Forensics Tournament in Washington, D.C. This senior class had more requests and consequently more denials for senior pranks. One senior just bought his own rental home in Milwaukee and is currently working with a lawyer to draw up a lease and become a landlord at age 18. 6 seniors were juried to the Scholastic Art Competition for the state of Wisconsin. It's impressive. One senior will represent the United States in the Under 20 Pan American Championships in Mexico in July 10th. One of our seniors is absent today because he is competing in Ohio in the United States Under 20 Wrestling Trials. A victory at this competition would put him in the World Championships in Bulgaria this summer. One of our seniors was one of 4 students across the nation who participated in the Speak Up 2021 Congressional Briefing on Equity in Education. Whew, it's a long list. Dozens of students will continue as student athletes at the college level next year. Two seniors were selected as NHS NASSP semifinalists and earned college scholarships for their efforts. One senior was awarded the Platinum Level Graduating Senior Award by the U.S. Figure Skating Corporation. One senior competed at the National High School Track Championships. National. There are students seated before us in this class who battled hardships, mental health, physical disabilities, and other challenges that most of us could never comprehend, and they sit here today. Over 50 seniors earned industry-recognized credentials in the health science and manufacturing areas. 3 seniors were on the girls volleyball team who won the state championship for the first time in school history. Last night, a hypnotized Jean Valjean treated us to one more performance. Last night, a hypnotized senior class sang the national anthem together. The seniors served more than 2,500 community service hours just this year. At least 2 of our seniors scored a perfect 36 on the ACT. One senior graduated early, obtained his real estate license, and has already sold his first home as a realtor. $603 AP exams were what our seniors accomplished with a 3 or better. 7 sophomore seniors had an amazing year on the diamond, finishing with an incredible 21-2 record. 12 students qualified for the 2022 International DECA Career Development Conference in Atlanta, Georgia. Rho Kappa, a social studies honor society made up of mostly seniors, hosted Veterans Day breakfast honoring our local veterans. And this class has 522 students seated before you who worked their way through 13 years of education to come to one of the greatest accomplishments you can achieve, which is sitting here today. That is an incredible and a partial list of the success of these students. What an incredible class. They've been an incredible group of students, and I'm often asked, as the principal, what I think of the graduating class and what I think of the seniors. And I know we're in Wisconsin Badger country, but I'm going to steal one of the most insightful perspectives I've heard from the University of Michigan. This is a brave move by me. Jim Harbaugh in 1984, current coach, quarterback of Michigan football in 1984. Admittedly, Jim Harbaugh is a little bit of a strong personality. He was that way as a college player as well. In 1984, he went to the quarterback's coach, Jerry Hanlon, and he said, "Hey, coach, what kind of team do we have this year? What kind of players we got? I'm going to be the quarterback. What do we got?" Now, this team is full of 4- and 5-star athletes who have a resume similar to that of what I just read of our student body here. Jerry Hanlon deflected him, didn't want to answer his question, kept pushing him off, and Jim Harbaugh, being Jim Harbaugh, kept pushing. He said, "Coach, I want to know what kind of players I got around me." Very astutely, Jerry Hanlon said, "When you guys come back in 15, 20 years, and we know what kind of men you are, we know what kind of husbands you've become, and what kind of fathers you've become, then we'll know what kind of football team we have." That's pretty powerful. We believe the same of the Warhawks sitting in front of us. That list that I just read is unmatched by any school in the state. I can promise you that. Now, be the people you have proven the potential to be 20 years from now. The impact you have on people around you are going to be your greatest accomplishment. I shared this challenge with a group of 8th graders last night because I think the more we hear it, the more it'll settle in with us, and the more we'll reflect on it as we go through our lives. Be great people. Be kind, be empathetic, be accepting, and be understanding. That is what we hope for you. We hope you conquer the world. We want you all to start a business. We want you to invent things, make our world safer, cure cancer, mine Bitcoin, and then explain to your principal what that means. We hope you do all those things, but while doing those, take care of the people around you. That is what we hope for you. Most of the messages tonight will be forgotten 20 years from now, but I'm going to put this in your head. Every year when June comes around, and you're looking at high school graduations around you, and you're remembering your Arrowhead graduation, let that be a reminder for you to hold yourself accountable for the person you've become. You are about to become a part of the Arrowhead alumni. What a great family that is. Represent your school well. Thank you for allowing me to be your principal and to be a part of your final year. Go out and do extraordinary things. Congratulations. It is now my privilege to introduce your first student speaker, Tierney Ordway, with her speech entitled 500 Beautiful Paintings.
Hi, guys. I have fond memories of sitting at the dining room table, watching my Okoa paint intricate paint-by-number canvases. The one I remember the most clearly was one of a train. The paints came in different amounts, depending on how much would be used in the painting. Certain colors, like blue from the sky, came in big tubes. Other colors, such as the red lettering in the train, came in a small container. No matter how big or small the amount of paint was used, each color contributed to the painting, thank you, as a whole. To me, these beautiful, intricate paintings mean much more than being pretty to look at. Now, when I look back on them, I see them as representations of our lives. Every one of us is our own individual painting. unique and representative of who they are. These paintings are filled with strokes of colors made by the people that make a difference in our lives. Some people, such as our families, make a big difference, much like the color blue did in my opus painting. While some people bring a small amount of color, like the red lettering on the train. This does not make them any less important. Both people that paint large and small sections of our lives work together to form our stories and help develop who we are as people. And work together to form our stories. And that is simply beautiful. The past 4 years we have spent together as a class at Arrowhead has done just that. Here, everyone from the kid you got assigned to sit next to in math, to your best friend you can't spend a moment without, has left marks on your life, contributing to your story. Tonight, take time to thank the people who have painted on your canvas, both big and small. Here, I can go first. A person who has made a difference in my life every day and is the biggest color on my canvas is my mom. To my mom, thank you for believing in me, even when I didn't believe in myself. For my smaller color, I would like to thank Mr. Hessler. Thank you for greeting me with a smile every morning, teaching me valuable life lessons, and helping me to not hate math for the very first time in my life. The paintings of our lives are nowhere near finished. We will go on from Arrowhead to various colleges, universities, and jobs around the country and even around the world. Here we will meet new people that will paint new colors on our canvases. But thanks to our families and the people at Arrowhead, we have beautiful and strong bases to build the rest of our life paintings off of. I know that each and every one of us will continue to bring vibrant color into the lives of the people around us, and in the end, make the world a more beautiful place. Congratulations, class of 2022. We've earned this.
It's my privilege to introduce our next speaker, Aiden Fulvag, with his speech, Choosing Your Path.
First of all, I would like to thank the teachers, administrators, staff, parents, and students who made this day possible. Two roads diverge in a yellow wood, and sorry I could not travel both and be one traveler. Long I stood and looked down one as far as I could, to where it bent in the undergrowth. This familiar excerpt from the poem The Road Not Taken by Robert Frost, though not simple, simplifies my message today. My parents have said from the beginning of high school that there are 1,000 different paths you can take through Arrowhead. Choose one that resonates with you and be committed to giving 110% to it. Whether it's athletically, academically, or artistically, be committed to giving it all you've got. These words are playing in my head as I go on with my day. Well, I'm happy to say that we all chose a path to follow, and that's what has brought us here today. However, from here on out, it will only become more confusing. Even more confounding than binders during AP exam weeks. Instead of 1,000 different paths through Arrowhead, it will now be 1,000,000 after Arrowhead. This is not meant to scare you. In fact, I hope it inspires you. You see, we are now heading into a world with limitless possibilities. These pathways may look like obstacles you need to overcome. Instead, view them as opportunities to grow from. Some paths won't work out. In fact, many won't. As you're choosing your next path, be aware how it feels to you. Don't let anyone else make that decision for you. If you find one that's not for you, don't waste time to try to make it fit. Try on different paths for size until one feels exactly right. Throughout high school, I wanted to take a multitude of different paths. At various points, I wanted to be a chef, a nurse, an astronomer, a doctor, an actor, and a CIA agent. That last one is me wanting to live the dapper life of 007. So many different paths with so many different prerequisites. What should I do? Try them out. See how they feel. Take a page from Goldilocks and the Three Bears. Find one that's just right. Keep in mind the more paths you try for size, the more you'll learn about yourself. Don't look at previous attempts as failures. Look at them as bridges that connect your paths. And remember, when you find a path that's just right, give it all you got. Congratulations, class of 2022.
We are beyond proud to welcome our next student speaker, Evan Stemper, with his speech titled, Hold the Door.
How's everybody doing tonight? Let's get loud! Whew. We did it. For those of you who don't know me, I'm Evan Stemper, and I want to say graduates, staff, parents, friends and families, congratulations. You all did an amazing job. Tomorrow morning, we will no longer be Arrowhead students. Whether you were attending college, tech school, going into the workforce, or something else, you won't be an Arrowhead student tomorrow morning. You will have moved on from that chapter of your life. When a chapter ends, we feel a little sad. That's okay. I want to focus on the sad part. My speech is called Tomorrow Morning for a reason. It's called Tomorrow Morning because tomorrow morning marks the beginning of the rest of our lives. Tomorrow morning, you are going to wake up, class of 2022. Your head will be filled with memories of parties, graduation, and most importantly, Evan Stemper's killer speech. Thank you. Once you're awake, however, it's go time. It's time to become that person that little 5-year-old you dreamt about becoming. There's nothing in your way anymore. Tomorrow morning, you can sit on your phone, sliding up on Snapchat stories about graduation, but how is that different from any other day? This is supposed to be your time to shine. This year taught all of us that time is a precious commodity. When we were freshmen, I'm sure we all thought to ourselves, we have 4 whole years to graduate. 4 years sounds like a lot of time. But the thing about time is that no matter what we're doing, it never stops moving. If anyone learned about how precious time is this year, it's me. In December, I was diagnosed with chronic myeloid leukemia. When the doctor told me, everything stopped. It was like a scene out of a movie. Everything went quiet, and voices went muffled. It was a very shocking experience. And do you know what the first thing that went through my mind was? How much time do I have left? What about all the things I still want to do? Do you know what thoughts didn't go through my mind? Oh, I think I left so-and-so undelivered on Snapchat. I didn't think about the photos on Instagram that I didn't like. I didn't think about the shoes that I had worn to school or the acne on my face that I thought had looked bad that day. Because guys, that stuff just doesn't matter. I know in our small bubble of Arrowhead High School, we think that all this stuff matters. Everyone has to wear designer clothes. Everyone has to become a millionaire. But tomorrow morning, we won't be in that bubble anymore. I always see videos on YouTube that say when people are old and dying, they regret things they didn't do. When I thought that my life was coming to an end, I realized that that is important. I cared about what was most important in my life. The things that matter are the lives that we touch, the stories that we share, and the kindness that we bring into this world. So, class of 2022, tomorrow morning, please don't treat the day just like any other day. Start that summer project you talked about starting. Reach out to someone that you want to keep in touch with while you're in college. Tell your family that you love them. And if nothing else, do something to be a kinder person. Because guys, when your final tomorrow morning comes, those are the things that are going to be important. Thank you.
Thank you to all three of our students for your courage to speak and for your perspective. It is now my privilege to introduce this year's staff speaker. The staff speaker is selected by the principal's cabinet each year. This year's staff speaker is our North Campus school psychologist, Kevin Lewandowski.
It's here somewhere. Thank you to the three amazing student speakers that I get to follow, and I'm humbled by the chance to speak at the graduation of my favorite high school class. And this is coming from someone who openly shares which of his two sons is his favorite. So I'm not just saying that. It's the 4-year-old. Similar to a lot of you graduating seniors over the last few weeks, I didn't want to be at Arrowhead, but a door was held open for me. 7 years ago, I was working happily as a school psychologist in Milwaukee Public Schools, where I enjoyed a short 4-minute bike ride to work. Then I had a friend I worked with interview and get a psychologist job at South Campus. I was excited for her, but still happy with where I was at. 2 months later, the North Campus school psychologist job opened up, and she encouraged me to apply. I got it. I figured why not, ended up getting an interview. I remember walking towards door A at South Campus, and a student with brown hair, wearing a t-shirt and shorts, held the door open for that long, awkward amount of time, just so I could get through. I was in my mid-20s, certainly able to open the door myself. Even if I couldn't, the doors were unlocked, and our main doors have buttons that I could push that would open the door for me. But holding the door showed that this student was willing to give up some of their time just so my life would be the tiniest bit easier. Through this small gesture, I made big generalizations about how kind Arrowhead students are. And I'm glad that the class in front of me helped to further validate my decision. Your life as a Warhawk has been full of choices and opportunities. What lunch table do I sit at? Do I go out for the lacrosse team? Do I study tonight or wing it? Should I hold the door open for that nervous-looking guy walking towards me? Thanks to my friend opening a figurative door to apply and the student opening a literal one, I've had my own opportunities to get to know and appreciate this class. I've seen you work at Interact volunteering events, voted on the lamps you created in medals, watched you ring the bell on the ropes course, and worked through other life-changing highs and lows that you've experienced here. Your life is going to be what you make from the opportunities presented to you. And this probably sounds similar to things you heard at Wings almost 4 short years ago. You entered Arrowhead with countless opportunities for classes, sports teams, clubs, And outside of a complicated spring of your sophomore year, you had the opportunity to interact with hundreds of your peers sitting next to you today. There's a longitudinal study being done at Harvard where they followed individuals for over 80 years, where they ask annually about their health, work, home lives, trying to find out what factors were most associated with happiness. Is it money, fame, accolades? The clearest message from this study is that good relationships keep us healthier and happier. In 10 years, you aren't going to care about the chemistry quiz you failed or the personal finance project you bombed, but you will care about the people around you right now. Do I remember the 29% I got on the calculus test? Sure. But I think about the people who helped me bounce back from that much more. You will be crossing this stage as Arrowhead graduates in a matter of minutes, with the opportunity to invest your future time and energy into endless areas. And I encourage you to follow the research into happiness. Remember to call home to those family members who have never gone that long without seeing you. Email your favorite teacher or school psychologist on how post-Arrowhead life is treating you. Text those best friends that you are about to take pictures with all over this field and see how their new roommate or job is. And as you do, think back to how those relationships started. Some you may have had since you were in elementary school or even earlier. Others you met here. And those lifelong relationships may have started with the smallest gesture. For anyone else you are yet to meet, remember to slow down and hold the door, because you never know when your small gestures can lead to a lifetime of happiness. Congratulations, Arrowhead class of 2022.
We will have the students coming forward in just a moment to receive their diplomas. We ask that you please hold your applause so that each family can hear the student's name being read. And now, it is my honor to formally present the class of 2022. On behalf of the Arrowhead staff, counselors, superintendent, administrative team, and the Board of Education, we would like to commend the class of 2022 for meeting and exceeding the challenges put before them. Superintendent Myra and the members of the Arrowhead Board of Education, I now proudly present to you the Arrowhead High School class of 2022.
As superintendent of the Arrowhead Union High School District, I certify to the Board of Education that the students before us have met the standards and criteria for high school graduation as set forth by the Wisconsin Department of Public Instruction and by the Arrowhead Union High School District. Therefore, they shall be awarded their high school diplomas. Graduates, as you continue to be directed to do so, please come forward to accept your diplomas as an honorable recognition of your accomplishments and as an important tool to open doors for further education or workplace opportunities. Congrats.
William Zachary Smith.
Leah Carol Eroldi.
Abigail June Sins.
Elise Patricia Allen.
Adam Alexander Shafinsky.
Caden David Anderson.
Ella Marie Pajek.
Madison Alina Anderson.
Anders Christian Palmquist.
Joseph Anthony Angley.
Raquel Rose Strong.
Thomas Andrew Aranda.
Mary Grace Wortman.
Colin Christian Argue.
Emma Louise Thusius.
Braden Andrew Arnett.
Madison Marie Tolsman.
Sarah Christine Artiles.
Brady Joseph Bashaw.
Nina Michelle Aschenfelter.
Ethan J. Baumgartner.
Andrew Joseph Athos.
Ella Kate Bonnier.
Jaden Christopher Bybus.
Devin John Becker.
Colin Gray Bailey.
Luke Michael Beringer.
Mitchell Patrick Balderas.
Evan Kiefer Pitlinski.
Priyanka Kalipara Bala.
Andrew Kiefner Pitlinski.
Benjamin Michael Balsowitz.
Zoe Putuliano.
Tazi Anna Bamba.
Austin Daniel Perney.
Anvita Bansa.
Grace Gingy Prigo.
Zachary Thomas Barnett.
Elliot Samuel Preston.
Blake William Barry.
Vivian Rose Powers.
Nick Ryan Barta.
Samuel Joseph Polentini.
Olivia Lee Beret.
Madeline Rose Pledka.
Reese Jacob Bonnie.
Callahan C. Pinkerton.
Austin Douglas Basil.
Daniel Ryan Peace.
Madeline Bell Borst.
Colin Joseph Pieroff.
Jake R. Bloomer.
Hunter Perry Finn.
Riley Morgan Blado.
Alec Bradley Phillips.
Logan Alexander Block.
Kirsten Elizabeth Phelps.
Jacob Ryan Bluell.
Casey Lee Fallsgraf.
Milan Victoria Blazik.
Lauren Chase Peterson.
Rachel Lauren Blankenship.
Ava Elizabeth Peterson.
Brendan Robert Birkeland.
Casey Lars Peltier.
Annalise C. Queen Barrow.
Tyler James Peterson.
Natalie Ryan Behrens.
Jacqueline Katrina Petty.
Blake J. Bentz.
Nicholas David Catania.
Caitlin Ann Baina.
Charles M. Sawinka.
Kate Adriana Byler.
Elena Faith Sharafasi.
Connor Mark Borkowitz.
Lucas Grant Cromie.
Enzo Joseph Bova.
Alexandra Jordan Kluga.
Ethan Santos Boxley.
Ricardo Calantropo.
Isabella Grace Boyd.
Chase Alexandra Conrad.
Benjamin Lawrence Brandel.
Reese Brooklyn Conrad.
Amelia Rose Brandt.
Paige Elizabeth Cancini.
James Tanner Brassill.
Kylie Jane Coraggio.
Aiden Scott Bertanja.
John Bryant Cooey.
Jack Evan Brown Shawaiji.
Caitlin M. Courtney.
Ashley Lynn Priceman.
Kylie Ray Lyons Kukula.
Tyler Philip Brickson.
Jared Eldoris Cushman.
Lucas Allen Buffington.
Catherine Marie Daniel.
Gabriel Robert Birch.
Brecken John Darko.
Dominic David Borklaw.
Hannah Lee Dasso.
Riley David Burgett.
Joshua William Davies.
Mason Douglas Boss.
Nevaeh Emily Davis.
Hannah Luyan Kabush.
Gabriel Olivier DeVries Rayleigh.
Sarah Ann Kalbaum.
Bryn Lauren Dyenger.
Christopher Michael Carpenter.
Shannon Marie Dwyer.
Nolan Montgomery Carrington.
Lucas J. Eckert.
Christian Nelson Carter.
Aisha Ayman El-Rafai.
Montel Eddie Dupree Carter Jr.
Lola Rue Elahi.
Anna Marie Nicole Casper.
Samuel L. Elfner.
Mark Allen Schmidt.
Ashley Madison Els.
Grace Catherine Schneider.
Julia Lindsay Elvers.
Olivia Claire Schneider.
Jenna Elizabeth Emmons.
Zachary John Scholl.
Julia Elizabeth Emmons.
Ella Christine Schroffnagel.
Ainsley Elaine Engelhart.
Blake Daniel Schrader.
Grace Virginia Erdman.
Evan Ray Schrader.
Celia Marie Esbenson.
Cameron Jacob Scott.
Rachel Ann Esper.
Julia Faith Seidel.
Kayla Madison Esslinger.
Caden Josie Seltz.
Evian Viola Evans.
Jonah Michael Senkbeil.
Katrina Kathleen Evans.
Dylan George Sensky.
Grace Ann Evanson.
Aiden Charles Sulutu.
Maria Norozia Everett.
Jonathan Wesley Showalter.
Rachel Marie Fassler.
Chloe Marie Simonson.
Peyton Joanna Farah.
Tyson Nolan Skaggs.
Aaron James Fensky.
Allison Grace Slasky.
Samuel Joseph Fensky.
Charles Jaden Smith.
Zachary Thomas Fitzgerald.
Tatum Marie Smith.
Miley Susan Gruppentrog.
Elizabeth R. Decker.
Audrey Caprice Grandati.
Sophia H. Decker.
Langdon Stephen Griglis.
Samantha Ann Dennis.
Donato Dean Guerra.
Lauren Margaret Dents.
Ryan Michael Getsky.
Alexander Burke Dortwell.
Callahan Dwayne Gundrum.
Oliver Beck DeVogel.
Morgan Ann Guider.
Hannah Rose Durst.
Elijah Gabriel Hagen.
Nicholas James DeCristo.
Peter Leonidas Heyman.
Logan A. DeBerto.
Grace Lillian Hansen.
Alexander Nicholas Dill.
Presley May Hansen.
Calandra Lace Dioro.
Greta Grace Hansen.
Madeline Rachel Dohan.
Samuel Robert Harkby.
Hunter David Dora.
Peyton John Harlos.
Shay Blaze Dorf.
Elena Claire Harper.
Isabella Marlena Mackenzie Drake.
Lexi Angela Nicole Harris.
Kristen Ann Derwila.
Emma Louise Harshberger.
Giselle Kate Duke.
Vivian Shea Hastings.
James Maximilian Duncan.
Sydney Grace Heberlein.
Avery Rose Dunham.
Jake Lucas Heffern.
Nathaniel Lewis Duty.
Peyton K. Hexberger.
Harrison M. Soliday.
Callie Rose Herbst.
Shane Marie Sondrel.
Sawyer Dean Harden.
Elizabeth Morgan Sowinski.
Lana Marina Loeglin.
Alexandra Grace Stahl.
Ryan James Leonard.
Kyle David Staus.
Christian Stewart Orway Rosevich.
Dylan Donald Steinhauser.
Emerson Kathleen Odea.
Jack Patrick Steiner.
Matthew Jeffrey Lotz.
Evan Christopher Stemper.
Haley J. Jekyll.
Mia Elizabeth Stemper.
Maxim Nicholas James.
Jacob Dylan Stevens.
Nicholas Vladimir James.
Forrester Max Stigler.
Jessica Lynn Jandora.
Hope Suzanne Stiverson.
Peyton Elizabeth Jarzinski.
Michael Dan Stratmeyer.
Ava Christine Jeskolski.
Bailey Ray Simden.
MJ Jensen.
Grace Catherine Talbot.
Anna Carol Jensen.
Malcolm James Taylor.
Kevin Binyong Jong.
Alex Jason Taylor.
Josh Johnson.
Hayden Christian Teal.
Lily Valentine Johnson.
Tanner Dason Tyvid.
Kara Ann Jorgensen.
Emma Jane Thomas.
Emilio Anthony Juarez.
Olivia P. Flathammer.
Hannah Madison Judge.
Sydney Elizabeth Flesh.
Caden John Just.
Aiden Mitchell Fullbag.
Jack Andrew Justice.
Samantha Megan Fraser.
Ben Kazmarek.
Carter M. Frisch.
Rebecca Ann Kaminsky.
Caroline Elizabeth Frost.
Colin Michael Kane.
Addison James Fullerton.
Mahti Kartithit Kayan.
Patrick J. Gallagher.
Savannah Rose Kastner.
Sophia Marie Gambatis.
Owen Alexander Jacobson.
My brother Carlos Antonio Gamino.
Aiden Maxwell Jacobson.
Allison Marie Gardner.
Samuel Morris Jackson.
Dylan Anthony Garza.
Keegan Joel Irvine.
Nolan Michael Jeffers.
Sophie Rose Illman.
Jura Ross Gerlach.
Kate Elizabeth Ignatowski.
Jameson Robert Gitter.
Harley Diana Jean Heitman.
Ava Lillian Glass.
Haley Lorraine Hunt.
Maxwell Alexander Gleason.
Ethan Edward Hunt.
Nathan Christopher Goodrow.
Tyler Matthew Hughes.
Eric Michael Gussie.
Kayla Noel Huckstep.
Kyle Robert Gowen.
Tyler James Hauer.
Killian Antrim Gould.
Macy Joan Holtz.
Spencer Reed Tomich.
Eleanor Capitola Hosteller.
Autumn Grace Tremmel.
Dylan Connor Hopwood.
Joshua Thomas Trunk.
Ethan J. Holm.
Michaela R. Turner.
Carter Reed Hofstetter.
Annalise Marie Tweeden.
Haley Christine Hilsenbeck.
Ava Pearl Ulatowski.
Ashley Marie Hilsenbeck.
Gabrielle Marie Urban.
Leah Marie Hetzel.
Thomas Matthias Van Gilder.
Noelle Elise Herman.
James Dwayne Vargas.
Kate Lundberg.
Natalie Elizabeth Vogt.
Paige Marie Lundy.
Oscar Marshall Vogt.
Logan Dwayne Lusk.
Jackson Page Walker.
Fisher Daniel Lauterbach.
Elena Louise Wallach.
Jillian Michelle Luther.
Corey James Ward.
Riley Gustav Mader.
Jacob Davidson Watson.
Sydney May Major.
Lauren Casey Webb.
Logan A. Mausetsky.
Katarina May Weber.
Abigail Ann Mandick.
Logan John Worley.
Chandler Benoit Maniscalco.
Kara Marie Welleton.
James William Manlick.
Leif Sebastian Keidel.
Eric Monty Manter.
Denjay Kelly.
Samuel Thomas Merrick.
Joseph Owen Kilmer.
Madeline Ray Marceo Brown.
Riley James Klosinski.
Sydney Elizabeth Marsh.
Jackson William Knaus.
Caroline Grace Martin.
Max Edward Null.
Sadie Ilona Marson.
Benjamin Mark Kubisky.
Summer Alona Mason.
William Thomas Kapatich.
Atverse Matthew Matheny.
Jordan Michaela Corpella.
Gracie Diane Maurer.
Ethan James Krebs.
Andrew Reed Mayhew.
Trenton John Krogman.
Macy Ray McGuire.
Margaret Mary Kubish.
Carson James McIntyre.
Bryce Herschel Kuehl.
Molly Ann McKay.
Cassandra Christine Quinn.
Mason John Keller.
Isabel Sarah Couric.
Lance Patrick McKnight.
Ryan J. Kurtz.
Paige Rose McLaughlin.
Tyler J. Kwiatkowski.
Kevin Robert McNeil.
Alexandra Shea Layler.
Athena Lee McSorley.
Luke A. Leitman.
Jack Marshall McWilliams.
Grant James Lamar.
Ethan James McInneck.
Jameson Ashby Landman.
Devin Patricia Meister.
Aiden Michael Lane.
Alan Jimenez Mendoza.
Pate Evan Lance.
Allison Margaret Marenkov.
Katie Allison Lauber.
McKenna Elizabeth Merlett.
Alexander Jose Loudon.
Adeline May Merrick.
Courtney Lynn Laufenberg.
Melanie Ann Meyer.
Kevin James Leclerc.
Vinnie Meals.
Elizabeth Hannah Lee.
Ryan James Makota.
Oliver Lee.
Alexander John Robb.
Sophie Marie Lee.
Jackson Paul Rosh.
Haley Lynn LeMay.
Braden Todd Race.
Mason John Lesina.
Emiliano Ravello Rom.
Dawson Lee Lobel.
Jack Thomas Rankin.
Alina Marie Logeman.
Ainsley Luella Reichert.
Noah William Long.
Megan Marie Reinders.
Noelle Elise Longstreth.
Olivia Faith Ryder.
Sarah Marie Laniello.
Erin Kelly Renner.
William Julius Lott.
Ashley Grace Renner.
Mia Qureshi Miller.
Mateo Reyes.
Sylvan Ryan Millivolt.
Logan M. Rico.
Andrew Michael Mills.
Austin Don Rice.
James Robert Morrison.
Ashton Cole Ridenauer.
Jack William Morrow.
Brandon James Riplinger.
Coy Edward Moseler.
Caitlin Elizabeth Roble.
Calvin Something Moont.
Jared Michael Roberts.
Guy Henry Myers.
Lauren Ann Roberts.
Isabel Jean Myers.
Michael Owen Roberts.
John Paul Naylor.
Cassidy Grace Roach.
Morgan Ray Neitzel.
Antonio Austin Rodriguez.
Nicholas John Nelson.
Micah David West.
Sydney Helena Nelson.
Benjamin Edwin Whipple.
Taylor Marcella Nelson.
Nathan Robert Wilde.
Thomas J. Nett.
Kaylee Margaret Willie.
Joseph M. Newbert.
Dakota Joe Williams.
Delaney Marie Neverman.
Keller Thomas Williams.
Abraham Joseph Newman.
Mitchell Griffin Windsor.
Anna Nguyen.
Amanda Brooke Winter.
Vincent Bon Nguyen.
Madeline Elise Worth.
Kara Elizabeth Nixdorf.
Alexander Timothy Wood.
Alyssa Christine Nielsen.
Karina Markovna Woodward.
Franco Antonio Nieves.
Nicholas T. Yellick.
Ashley Elizabeth Knoll.
Andrew David Zarling.
Christopher John Norcross.
Jenna Louise Zeller.
Michael John Nugent Jr.
David Lee Joe.
Caroline Grace Nunnally.
Trevor William Zelmer.
Alexandra Ray Omig.
Michael James Zordani.
Reagan Nicole Ostrike.
David John Ziggy.
Nathan Quinn Oki.
Maria Cristina Rodriguez.
Joseph David Okla.
Vincenzo Steven Romagna.
Claire Veronica Oliero.
Evan John Rose.
Tierney Helen Ordway.
Ursula Heidi Rose.
Gianna Grace Orlando.
Liliana May Ruiz Alvaro.
Amanda Marie Orton.
Grace Monica Shepieski.
Dylan Charles Orzhowski.
Nathan Kent Safranek.
McKenna Page Oster.
Abigail Nicole Sadowicz.
Rachel Emily Ott.
Max Steven Salaja. Nadia Autumn Sandin. Amarian Santiago Lipek. Preston James Szorek. Madeline Grace Sailvang. Colton Edward Schaefer. Jackson Ryan Schaefer. Ella Brooke Schliebly. Jessica Jean Shalick. Thomas James Schertz. Mateo Raymond Caesar Shiro. Alexis Lee Schleep. Amanda Christine Schmidt. Andrew Robert Schmidt. Jacob Michael Scherer.
Brent Henry Wiczorek.
Maybe not. Hey. Welcome back, everyone. Thanks for that. Finally, the moment we've all been waiting for, I would like to introduce the President of Student Senate, Mr. Kyle Staus, who will address the class and preside over the tassel ceremony.
It's somewhere in here. Okay. I am so honored to be standing before you all today. High school is considered to be some of the best years of our lives. But to be honest, this is just the beginning of those years. We've shared these years with many important people in our lives. Family, friends, community members, and equally important, the members and mentors that make Arrowhead, well, Arrowhead. Today, a few teachers and an administrator are also celebrating a huge milestone in their life, retirement. At this time, we congratulate 6 Arrowhead greats who have devoted so much of their time and dedication to this school. Jim Albers, Science. Heidi Hamilton, Special Education. Dave Olenchek, Math. Yeah. Beth Schuth, World Languages, German. Greg Wichorek, Administration, Principal. And Wei Yao, World Languages, Chinese. Let's give another big hand in appreciation to these wonderful people. There is always the past to look up on, the future to look forward to, and the present we currently are standing here. I've always disliked endings, but endings are inevitable. Leaves fall, you close the book, you say goodbye. Today is one of those days for us. Today we say goodbye to everything familiar and comfortable. We're moving on, and we will always look back on these days. And even though it does hurt, there are the memories that are so much a part of us. They'll be with us no matter what. They are our solid ground. A small, clear voice in our heads that will be with us, guiding our way to the next beautiful and exciting adventure. It has been my pleasure to serve you as your Student Senate President during our time at Arrowhead High School. It is now safe to say that we did it! So at this time, I ask the graduates to please rise. Ladies and gentlemen, it is my pleasure to officially present to you the Arrowhead High School Class of 2022. Students and soon-to-be official graduates, you may now switch your tassels from the right to the left. Congratulations, graduates of the class of 2022.